Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Emor. This week's edition is entitled, Did Moshe Kill a Father and a Son? It's a very interesting topic and it has a lot of depth that we can't even cover so much of it. In short, the topic we're talking about, which is in Shevii, Perek Daled, Pasuk Yud and on, it talks about there was the son of a Jewish woman and an Egyptian father who went out into the camp. Someone argued with another, a Jew argued with him. They went to Beis Din in Moshe Rabbeinu, and whatever happened there, he came out, this son, who was the son of Shlomis Bas Divri, and he ended up cursing Hashem, and then he was judged by Moshe's Beis Din that he was Chayav Misa, but there was a delay because they had to clarify something. So some questions for this is, who is this Mekallel, also the Ben Isha Yisraelis? Where did he go out from? Because it starts with Vayikra, he went out. Who is he arguing with and why? Why did he curse? And why did Moshe hesitate in Din? Sources are Midrashim, Rashi, Azayim, LaTorah, Sifra, Malbim, and some of my own Chidushei, trying to give you a narrative from combining these different thoughts. There are alternative interpretations and depth to this. So the Mekallel was either coming from some type of dispute or din Torah, but Rashi is quoted as saying he came from the prior parsha in the Torah, which discussed Lechem HaMishnah, that this man was mockingly, perhaps because of the Egyptian background, this was their approach, but he said that a king has warm bread every day. How come you're serving this lechem upon him that's a week old and is going to be cold and stale? He didn't wait to see that it would be fresh in the end. Now, the Pasuk later tells us that this Ben Isha Yisraelis was the son of Shlomis Bas Divri. Who was Shlomis Bas Divri? She is the only woman who was violated by an Egyptian while we were in Mitzrayim. That shows how pure the Jews were. Her name represents why she sinned. She was Shlomit. She was very friendly. She went out and greeted everyone Shalom, Mashlomcha. She was Bas Divri. She was a Dabranit, again very sociable. And this, like in the case of Dinah, her going out amongst the people ended up causing her trouble, because this Egyptian slave master saw her, was interested in her. One night, perhaps he sent out her husband to do slave business for him, and he snuck in, and in the dark the woman thought that he was her husband. They lived together. As a result, they had a kid. Now, actually, this guy came back in the middle and he caught them in the act, which is why the next day in Parshas Shemos it discusses an Mitzri who was someone who was beating the other Jew because he was telling him, look, you're not going to tell anyone, understand? You're just a slave, I'm the master. So this man definitely did not have a father who was Jewish, and so he wanted to camp with one of the tribes. So he chose his mother's tribe. That was the tribe of Shlomis Bas Divri. But this guy objected, and maybe some other people too. But it's Yisraelis. And who is this? It's Yisraeli. This was who says to him, "I'm a Jew and you're not." Some say this was Moshe's nemesis Dasan from Shevet Ruvain. Now we ask, why is a Reubenite getting involved in a Danite issue? He doesn't live there. So at first I was thinking, well, if it's Dasan, it makes sense, because this guy was very argumentative. It says Vayinatzu, because he argued. He was also arguing with the machlokes of Korach, and he was always causing trouble for Moshe Rabbeinu. But I'd like to suggest a better reason, because we go back to Shemos. So that, by the way, that Mitzri who Moshe killed, so he was the one who slept with Shlomis Bas Divri. But some say that the husband of Shlomis Bas Divri was none other than Dasan. So again, the husband was being beaten by the Mitzri who slept with his wife. As a result, Dasan planned to divorce his wife, and some say that was why the next day he was in argument. He was arguing with the brother of Shalamis, who says, "No, you can't divorce my sister." So we now see that there was an existing relationship or connection between Dasan formerly the Ish Ivrei in Parshas Shemos, but now he's the Ish HaYisraeli, and the Ben HaYisraelis. So he was the son of the ex-wife, and probably the ex-wife, as well as the Egyptian who beat him, and who was killed by Moshe using the Shema Mefarish. So it's not surprising that an already argumentative Dutton got engaged in conflict with the man he resented, because this man's father had caused Dusson to separate from his wife Shlomit. So to settle this dispute on Ben Yisrael's halachic status, they went to Moshe's Beis Din, and so either in the Beis Din he found out that Moshe was the one who killed his father, the Mitzri, and he found out only then that his father was an Egyptian, that's where his father was, or because he knew beforehand, and based on the Malbim there was a general discussion of what the Jewish standard were we Noach or din of Ben Noach or Ben Yisraeli before Matan Torah, and when Moshe ruled against this Ben HaYisraelis, he now believed that Moshe was also unjustified in killing the Egyptian father with the Shem HaMefarish. So what did this guy do? He went out and he blasphemed with the same Shem HaMefarish that Moshe used. So someone who's Mekallel Hashem is clearly Chayav Misa, must be put to death. But Moshe felt he needed to get clarification from Hashem. Why? Besides the Musunim Din of Perek Yavos, some say the delay was because the Mekallel was Megayer after he cursed. And he did this to change the ruling from being a new person, not Chayav, for the actions of the old person that he used to be, because when he was a guy, he wasn't the same Jew he is now. So Moshe had to find out this din. Some say Moshe hesitated because the death ruling would have caused the death now of both a father and a son, the father, the Ish Mitzri, and the son, the Ben HaYisraelis. Finally, Moshe also hesitated because he wanted to teach future Sanhedrin and Basin not to be shy to ask for assistance in the ruling. So really, there's so much more topic to be discussed on this. And yes, Moshe paskined the death penalty for both a father and a Mitzri, both the father Ish Mitzri and son of Ben HaYisrael. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.